And sing with me, sing with me, sing with me. Come along and sing with me. It's time for story time. Hey boys and girls, welcome to another sing along. Yes, it's time for story time. Story time with Miss Dunbar. I'm very happy that you are here. And yes, we want to get right into our story. But before we get into our story, I want to give a shout out to Alexandra. Hello, Alexandra. Thank you for always watching. Continue to enjoy story time with Miss Dunbar. Now, this story is entitled How Do Apples Grow? And it was written by Jill McDonald. Boys and girls, have you ever thought about how do apples grow? Maybe not, but let's go discover how do apples really grow. Let's dive right into this book. Everyone loves to eat apples. Crunch. But do you know how apples grow? Do you know how apples grow? Let's talk about this apple. This apple that this pretty girl has, the apple is yellow. How about this apple that the boy has? It is green. There are more than 7,000 types of apples. Yes, that's a big number. A 7 with 3 zeros. That means there are lots and lots of different apples out there, right? Yes. Apples start from a tiny seed. If you cut an apple open, you can see the seeds inside. And look, on this page we can find some seeds. But do you want to count them with me? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. An apple can have up to 10 seeds. Wow. So the next time you eat an apple, will you count how many seeds are there? I think you can do that. That should be fun. Now let's look at this apple. Here we have the apple stem. And here we have the apple leaf. And here we have the skin of the apple. Here we have the core of the apple. And the core of the apple is inside. So in order for us to get the core of the apple, we have to bite the skin. And inside of the core, we also find the seeds. How many seeds do you see in this apple? Right now, it's 2. Yes. Apple seeds start to grow when they are planted in soil and given sunlight, water, and fresh air. So here's a little boy with his watering can, watering the seeds because they need water. And here is our favorite little friend, Mr. Sun, making sure the seed gets some sunlight. And outside always provide us with fresh air. So here's the seed getting sunlight, water, and fresh air. Plants use water, light, and air to make their own food. The seeds grows roots. which reach down into the soil. And here we see the roots way down in the soil. And guess what? The root has a little friend over here. Who's that little friend? Ah, the wiggly worm. This young plant is called a seedling. Very tiny, very small. It's called a seedling. And a green sprout with tiny leaf shoots from up the ground. So here is the tiny little sprout with leaves that come straight from the ground. When the seedling starts to grow bigger and stronger, it becomes a sapling. Here is a sapling. So we could basically say the sapling is like a medium tree. Yeah? It takes 2 or 3 years for a seed to become a sapling. The sapling grows taller and becomes a tree. In spring, buds on its branches open into pink and white flowers. So, let's count how many flowers we see. And here's an interesting fact. Each flower will become an apple. So we're going to guess about how many apples will grow on this tree. Count with me. 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples, 4 apples, 5 apples, 6 apples, 7 apples, 8 apples, 9 apples, 10 apples, 11 apples, 12 apples, 13 apples, 14 apples, 15 apples, 16 apples, 17 apples, 18 apples, 19 apples, 20 apples, and 21. Inside the flower, there are the parts that make the apple grow. So here is the flower, and we're going to look at the different parts inside the flower. And here we have a stamen. This yellow plant called the stamen. And here we have the petal. And here we have the pistil. And here we have the ovules. These turn into seeds. The stamens are covered in yellow pollens. The pistil has a small sticky tube. And look, and I know you see some little insect. Who are those little insects? Yes, the bees. The bees fly from the flower to flower, spreading pollens from stamens to pistils. When the flower petals fall, an apple starts to grow. So here we see what's happening from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 and then to 5. Wow! It takes a full summer for an apple to be ready to eat. Look at this apple. Let's describe it. It looks very delicious. I think it might be red and juicy. And how about sweet? Yes, I love when my apples are sweet. Do you like when your apples are sweet too? Autumn is here. Time for apple picking. Wow, autumn is here. Time for apple picking. And we're going to look at each apple tree Now, let's look on this apple tree. The apples are red. On this apple tree, the apples are green. On this apple tree, the apples are yellow. And here we have some red apples again, some green apples again, and red apples and red apples. So, apples can be red, they can be green, or they can be yellow. Apples are picked and packed and shipped from the orchard to the grocery store and the farmer's market. Wow, look at these apples. The apples that fall to the ground are turned into ciders. Do you see any fallen apple? What color is it? Please let me know. Apples are delicious, and knowing more about them makes them even sweeter. So from the apple, we could bake a pie. We could make some sauce. We could make some cider. And yes, look at Doggy. He's ready to take a bite from that yummy, yummy pie. Which is your favorite? The applesauce, the apple pie, the apple cider? Let me know. And what do you use apple to make? How about the apple juice? Do you like that one? I figure you might like apple juice. Now you know how apples grow. Good things are worth waiting for. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this book. How do apples grow? I hope you also learned something new. Write in your comment down below one thing that you have learned. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. See you another time at story time.